My name's Cloher, and I am performing a version of the Slits' Typical Girls from their 1979 album Cut. It was their debut album, and I've chosen this song, I guess, because it has that kind of first wave feminist influence. I'm just looking at the stereotypical woman and advertising and magazines and challenging what the typical girl is. So, yeah, here we go. Typical girls get upset too quickly. Typical girls can't control themselves. Typical girls are so confusing. Typical girls, you can always tell. Typical girls don't think too clearly. Typical girls are unpredictable. Typical girls try to be typical girls very well. Typical girls try to be typical girls very well. Typical girls are looking for something. Typical girls fall under spells. Typical girls buy magazines. Typical girls feel like hell. Typical girls worry about spots, fat and natural smells. Stinky fake smells. Typical girls try to be typical girls very well. Typical girls try to be typical girls very well. Typical girls are sensitive. Typical girls